Hi, so welcome to my 7-day morning movement mobility program. So I thought it would be a great idea to put together a bit of morning movement, so like 10 to 15 minutes a day out of your day, because obviously this time of year, as now the summer holidays have now started, it's going to be harder to get to classes, harder to do something for yourself. And if it's just 10 to 15 minutes, you might just find that little bit of time. Maybe it's in the first thing in the morning, maybe the family can join in with you. Maybe it's like when people have gone to bed or something like that, just to get you moving. Because when we don't move, we stop moving, and we need our joints to be mobile, and we need to be a little bit more flexibility in our body and so on. So this is going to be about a bit of movement with regards to like mobility mainly. But there might be some core tone in there as well as we progress through the week. But I hope you enjoy it, and come with me and let's start the warm-up. Right, let's start off with doing a nice gentle weight transfer. I always start my classes with foot mobility. Our feet are our base of support, aren't they? So we need to make sure they are moving. Now, I'm not rocking and shifting my hips from side to side like this. I'm very much pushing away the ground. What I mean by that, I'm applying force into the floor as I do that. So I'm pushing away the floor to give myself length through my body. When I do that, there's tone happening in the calves, there's tone happening in the hamstrings, the glutes, even the abdominals are responding. So I'm not looking at the knees. Do not look at the knees. When you look at the knees, your hips push forward, and therefore it compresses the lower back like this. So make sure that you are nicely weight transferring. Let's now take it into a little bit of hip mobility and a bit of a lunge. So I'm going to go outside to inside of foot first of all. All right, nice bit of movement there, maybe going inside to outside as well. That might also be a nice idea. If you want stronger and you want more lunge, then you go further afield, you go further away from your body, but make sure that that back leg is matching the rest of your back. We are not here because again, that will stretch this area, and we want to get this bit in here, yeah, the bottom, the glutes, which supports the back, and also we're putting a little bit of force into the floor. So it's up to you how far you go. You might want to stay with mobility or take it to the tone. I'm changing sides. So again, outside to inside of foot or inside to outside of foot, just getting that movement through the knee, the hips, and so on. And again, like I said, if you want more, then you push more into the ground. More force applied there. A few more moments here. 3, 2, 1. Super. Right, we're going to take it into a movement called arcing. This is a reset of the spine and gets us set up for our movement. I'm going to show you from the side, and let's do it together. Push your hips back, bend your knees, and hang your head. If your knees aren't bent, then that's not going to go into your lower back, and you want this part of our back to just stretch out here. I'm going to breathe out the air from the lungs there. Then we're going to rock to the front of the foot. And we're going to push away the ground, so we're getting length, and we're thinking about being on the end of that Titanic there. Imagine you're Kate Winslet there on the end of the Titanic, still pushing away the floor, and then coming back in. We'll do that again. Push your hips back, bend your knees, hang your head, let everything go. And again, let your neck as much as you can possibly go there. When I push away the floor, what I mean is I'm actually pushing with the whole foot here. I'm not coming up onto my balls of my feet, and breathing in. And coming up as we do so. Okay, let's take it into rotation. Nice gentle down up here. Let's do a down up. Nice easy there. Let your fingertips just nicely bounce into your sides. No tension, no holding. Okay, a few more moments here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, standing side stretch. I'm going to show you from the back on this one. I'm going to reach to my right, and I'm going to reach my left arm up. So I'm going to stretch up, okay, again, trying to keep both sides of my body the same, and then come back. Every little stretch makes you a little bit longer, a little bit taller. Breathing in as we do that. 3, and 2, and 1. Now hold here, soften knee. Inhale, reach, come up and over. Let's change sides. And again, breathing in. Exhale, come back. Breathing in. Exhale, come back. We'll do 3 more. 3, and 2, and 1. Hold here, soften knee. Inhale, reach, come up and over, and you should feel nicely warmed up to get down onto our mat. So here we are on our mat, and we're going to do some cat. I'm going to first show you the traditional cat. Okay? So this one's more tone, so I'm going to tuck under my tailbone, curve up through my spine. Then I'm going to go to my head. And then we're going to unravel yourself. So I'm going to go head first, then we'll go for my back, and then obviously my pelvis there is going to come out last. Now what this one does, that does tone mainly. So what I'm going to do is actually add a bit more movement. I'm actually going to go down towards the ground and then come up into the C shape. This actually gains more movement by adding that extra little bit in. So it becomes more of a mobility and stretch rather than just tone. There is obviously tone in there. It's just not as restricting as the previous version. Okay, so I'm going to go down towards the ground. Now you might like this version, but I'm actually going to take it into a different one now. So I'm going to go down and I'm going to take it back. Okay, and this is for lower back now. So that's quite nice. Really allow your neck to hang as much as you possibly can. Okay, let's do that again. Down towards the ground, coming back. And just again holding there. And one more time here. Down. Take it back. This might not agree with everyone's knees, so you might want to stick with the previous version we did. Okay, now I'm going to add in something called feathering, or a transfer of weight. Let's call it a transfer of weight. This is really nice for neck and shoulders. Down towards the ground as we go, coming up into your C shape. Now I understand that might be at the beginning like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, but once you do it and you get the idea of it, it's actually very nice. So maybe before you try this one, you might want to stick with the other two, but it's very nice for your neck and shoulders. But it's a transfer of weight, not a wiggle. So I'm transferring my weight on my hands and my knees. As I go down there, my spine sort of moves with me. A few more moments. 3. Should we do 2 more? Down. But you might be deciding to stick with the other 2 versions that I showed. Depends on your body, your makeup, your situation. Because not everyone is built the same, right? So why would we all be doing the same thing? Right, let's take it back into our shell stretch. Breathe there. Inhale, sides and back of rib cage. Breathing in. Exhale. Breathing in again. Exhale and come all the way up. Perfect. Okay, right, we are now going to take it into a head in towards knee movement. Again, this is really nice for your lower back, and again it gets your body sort of nicely moving. We're going to aim 10 on each side. Here we go. Exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's change sides and exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's again take it back into a shell stretch. Breathing in, sides and back of rib cage here. Breathing in. And exhale down. And again, breathing in. Exhale down. Right, we're going to focus a little bit on our wrists now here, because I understand that sometimes we get a bit compressed, like everything gets a bit tight in here as well, but we still need to work them, but it's good to have a bit of release. So I'm going to take a hand back first, flip it over, and I'm going to add a stretch. I really like this actually. I do this a lot. This one's really good for your ribs. It's nice to give your hands a little bit of rest. And just to sort of stretch them one way. You can obviously repeat a side if you're finding the alternation a little bit too much. And we can sort of repeat maybe 5 on each side and 5 on the other. Good, and that's nice. Okay, right, I am going to take it into another movement now. So you can come back to this at any point you like, okay? So here we are. As we come through, I'm going to take it into my shell stretch, imagining that I'm pushing into stones. I'm coming through, keeping my shoulder blades nice and long. I'm only going to take it as far for a little press up here, actually. Tucking toes underneath, and we're going to push back into what I call the downward dog. A bit of a yoga style move, right? And then we're going to control our 4. Here we go. We're controlling that fall. And again, down, taking it into your shell stretch there. Then into your little press up. It's not too big, so you want to make sure your neck is in line there, okay, not hanging, and make your shoulders nice and long. Again, pushing into your downward dog, sort of stretching back of your hamstrings. You may or may not get your heels on the floor there. It's totally okay, and you're getting a nice stretch either way. Okay, I'm going to add a tread in with this movement now. I'm taking it into a small press up, okay, tucking toes underneath. All right, and now we're going to add a little tread. This might be more suitable for those who are a little bit more tighter in the hamstrings. If you feel that the previous version was not great for you, then you can stay with this one. We're going to do 2 more of this one. Okay, control the foot always, don't plonk yourself down. Here we go, little press up there, little knee press up, tucking toes underneath, little tread. We'll do 3 more, 3, 2, 1 with that tread, and then coming down, and then again, nice and long back. Tucking toes underneath. Last time here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, control your fall. Back into your shell stretch there. Breathing in there. Inhale, sides and back rib cage. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Last time. And come up. Super. Now, of course, that might have felt a bit light on my wrists, but I'm just going to take my hand, okay, here. I'm going to traction, I mean little pull there, and we're going to slide it all the way down to your fingertips and give you a little turn there, and just sort of opens up those joints and can feel really nice after doing any sort of upper body work. It's important to sort of just reset ourselves, because that's when injury happens, is when we don't, and excessive movements is what causes the injury. All right, so just make sure you reset, and any aches and pains that you sort of figure out in between. We're now going to lay on our backs. Okay, for this one, we're going to have our knees hip distance apart. So I'm actually away like this, you can see that. So I've got my knees hip distance apart. I'm not together. I see this an awful lot. I see hands down, I see feet together, and it can be actually quite dangerous for the back. And it can also be pulling, so it depends how mobile you are, but also there's lack of control when your feet are together as well. So we're going to be knee distance apart, hip distance apart, okay, feet firmly on the ground there. Elbows are going to be grounded and not here. We want to incorporate our neck and shoulders as well, not just isolate them. So here we are, elbows into the ground. I'm going to take it into a little rock. Head goes in the same direction as your knees. This is a nice self-treatment massage. It's really nice, actually. Again, I do something like this most days. So if we are just going for mobility and massage, you can do what I'm doing now. This is actually good for your lower back. If it's neck and shoulders that are your focus and you think, oh, I really need to get that done, then it will be a quicker kind of tempo and a smaller range of movement, a little bit like jelly, that one. So again, you can sort of have a little play of your movement. Right, I'm going to add a bit more force. So like we did right at the beginning of the session, we talked about pushing into the ground. You're going to push away that floor. Okay, so I'm pushing away the floor with my elbows and my feet. With that becomes a stretch. Now we're turning this movement into more of a stretch. Okay, we'll do a few more here. Oh, really stretch out. Make sure that head is moving as well. You're opening out your chest. I'm not over exaggerating the curve as well, so I'm not trying to go as far as I can go. I'm making sure that my spine remains relatively long. But yeah, you will get a natural back curve with that one. Okay, now I'm going to add in some legs. So here we go. We're going to go knee in. All right, and I'm still rocking. So if you liked what you were doing a minute ago, stick with that. If you want to do this one, come with me, of course. Stick with that. Right, so here we are. We've got our knee. This is called a dynamic glute stretch. It's opening up the lower back. Good for sciatica as well. Sort of gives people a lot of relief when they do this one. It makes them feel a bit better. And now we're going to add a stretch in. So let's stretch out those hamstrings as well. So I'm flexing my toe for this one, actually. So I'm still rocking. I'm rocking from side to side, kicking my leg. A bit like a kick line, isn't it? Right, we'll do a few more here. Oh, just feel stretch. It's sort of, you feel so stiff in the morning, and it's just really nice to sort of get the body moving, especially if you've got a lot of time. And then I always feel a bit guilty when I don't move or I haven't taken care of myself. Here we are, a few more. 3, 2, and 1. Super. Okay, right, I'm going to do a glute stretch now. I'm going to take my leg across. If you can feel your stretch here, perfect, that's fine. If you can't and you think I want a bit more range, then you bring the leg in. We're going to put one hand on your knee, one hand on your foot. We are not going to bring our hands between our legs. When we bring our hands between our legs, look what happens to the neck and the shoulders. They come up and change, create tension, and we're trying to relieve that tension and stay long with our body. So one hand on your knee, one hand on your foot. Let's move it. So this is quite nice for, obviously, back massage as well. Again, another good sciatica one. And we're just going to circle around here, then the other way. And if you find a particular way that you want to stretch, you could hang over to that side. Like, for example, I'm hanging quite far over my left and I've got a nice stretch happening there, which feels quite good. So again, you can just explore your movement, because what my movement might be completely different from yours. So please experiment with your range of movement and what feels necessary, quite good for you. Becoming body aware, let's change feet. So again, change sides. Again, this side might be completely different. Maybe you're more flexible on this side, or maybe it's a bit stiffer. Maybe your hip feels like it needs a bit of movement, but we'll talk about that on another day. But again, just having that movement, that rock, those circles, creates a bit of flexibility and niceness in our body. But again, you can be here if you want. You can be here. But that's again, there's loads of different versions of different exercises to suit everyone's body. All right, a few more. 3, 2, 1. Okay. You're going to turn her over to your side, coming up to a seated position. We're going to do some breathing. Okay, here we go before we finish. So here we go. Breathing in, breathing out, and again, breathing out. One more. Good, lovely. Right, hopefully you feel like you're ready to start your day, that you can move your shoulders and feel a bit more moved to get going. It's important that we get our morning movement in, because it really does set ourselves up for our day. Perhaps you want to do your morning movement later on when you've got time. Fit it in just before, while the kids are having breakfast or something. Thank you for joining me today.